Hey everybody, this is Eddy Dacius with another episode, Divine Purpose Podcast. This episode, management, that's your facility management. They will manage your property for various services. We have a wonderful guest. This is a friend, first friend when I came here in the United States. Mr. Vladimir, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, Eddie. Thank you for having me on.
Definitely. So we will start with our intro and then we will be back.
Welcome to the Divine Purpose Podcast, where we transport you along one of the more dynamic journeys of life. Have you ever been curious to know what it takes to become a successful leader? Or about knowing the secrets of life through the Bible? How about engaging in conversation where no topics are off limits? We will take you to new levels with guests who can help you grasp the importance of your calling. Now, here's your host, Eddy Dacius, founder of Dacius Facilities Management.
Yes, like we said, if you're looking for facility services, there's no other company you need to call. It's 617-237-0106. This is DaciusFM.com. Dacius Facility Management. They will manage your property with various services, cleaning, vendor management, project management, and they will make sure your property stay the best. All right. So like we said, we have a wonderful guest, Vladimir Albin Jr. Vladimir, how are you today, man?
I'm doing well, doing very well. I'm excited for this. I've wanted to do this podcast for a little bit now, and we're finally doing it. So let's do it.
Yeah. So one thing we like to do is to kind of go deep and dive deep into your past. So the best question is to start this show is, what can you tell us about you, Vladimir?
Well, I mean, there's so much, but I guess, I'm Vladimir Albin Jr. I was born in Haiti, Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And I came to the U.S. when I was 15, and I was back in 2005. I've been in Boston since. Went to high school in Boston, went to college in Boston, and then now I'm working at a environmental/engineering consulting company out in New End, Massachusetts, which is maybe, 10, 20 minutes away from Boston. I also host a podcast, which is called the Profane Sports Podcast. Yeah. It comes out weekly on YouTube. I'm also working on a couple other projects. Those should come out pretty soon as well. So, that's me.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing. So, and you say you were born in Haiti. Can you take our viewers, our listeners to your upbringing? Or was it growing up in Haiti?
It was great. I mean, I don't know. Like I think at heart, I'm this Haitian kid that never want to left its country, right? So I think due to some of the circumstances of the country, such as insecurity and things being just a lot more expensive, I think my parents just had to find a better place for me to succeed and giving me better opportunities, right? But I think growing up in Haiti, I grew up in this little town called La Boule, which is a little bit outside of Port-au-Prince. Well, it's in Port-au-Prince, but outside of the main center of the city. And, I went to elementary school, kindergarten, also middle school. And I grew up, both of my parents were in Haiti. I grew up with one of my sisters. She's maybe 4 years younger than me, and then later on, I had another sister. She's about 12 years younger than me, but I mostly grew up with her here in the U.S. But I don't know, growing up in Haiti was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was just, I felt free. I just, Haiti's home. So like even when I went back maybe 10 years ago, and it was one of the best feelings ever. It just feels like there's no pressure. You just feel at home. You just feel relaxed. So going up Haiti was awesome. That's all I can say. I mean, there's nothing specific I can specifically share, but I just love being at home. Like, there's nothing like home. That's what I can say.
You're right. So can you share with us what are the three most challenging event in your life, and how do they challenge you?
Wow, that's tough, right? So I think there's a lot, right? And I think the first one I would say was moving from Haiti to America. And I think as a young kid, at the time I was 14, turning 15.
Yeah.
It was exciting moving to America, but I think once you get here, you face the challenges of learning a new language, assimilate to a new culture, going to a new school, just trying to fit in. And I just remember having a really hard time doing that. And I remember I was at home and I kind of broke down and I just started crying, and I just started talking to my dad about how I just wish I was back home, and it was tough because I was very excited to be here because, it's America. Like, you're excited to be in America. But I just remember, like, the difficulty of assimilating and also being bullied because, you didn't speak English very well, and being bullied because you were different. That was very challenging in the beginning. I mean, I feel as though I got over it pretty quickly because I made some friends and I started assimilated it pretty quickly, but that transformation was very hard for me in the beginning, for sure.
So allow me to kind of press more on it. So we talk about it and we refer it as a culture shock. And I had a guest, she was saying, even when she was on the plane, like even eating a hamburger, she was like, that's different because she used to see this type of meal only on TV. Yeah. But you said coming in the United States, being here, trying to fit in was difficult. Can you share why and how did you really manage? I know you mentioned you had some friends, but what was your mindset to kind of get over this situation?
I think what was difficult about it was that you were different. So because you were different, the kids at the school treated you differently.
Yeah,
I was bullied, and also the language was. I mean, I had learned some English in Haiti, and I was okay, but you still struggled, right, a little bit to get used to speaking English and get comfortable in that. And I remember one thing what was really hard for me, I was really good at math, so that wasn't an issue. But when it came to English class, I remember that was a little difficult for me, just writing a whole essay writing a whole essay in English. Wow. I think that was really hard for me, and I think that was one of the reasons why I broke down that night when I was talking to my dad. I think I didn't think it was going to be that hard. And then just writing in English was the hardest part. And then, like I said, you were different. You didn't speak English very well. So some of the students who just weren't nice about that, they would kick you or they would hate you or say mean things to you. So that was hard. So the way I dealt with it was, I had a couple other Haitian friends at school. Okay. So I just started, hanging out with them a lot more. And I think they just started making me feel more comfortable. You kind of have to find where you fit in, right? So I just knew that, okay, there's this Haitian kid, his name was Serge. There was another Haitian kid, his name was Ed. And I just started hanging out with them a lot more, and they started making me feel comfortable. I started speaking English to them, and my English started getting better because So, but you just find small little ways to just assimilate and
keep going forward, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm gonna switch to like your professional side because I like to look at a person journey and then see the path, the roadmap. How did you get here? So my question to you: what was your dream job in high school, college, and now? If they are the same, great. But if they change, I'd like to know about it.
That is so funny. I think I don't even know what my dream job was in high school, because I think when you come from Haiti and you come here, you're being exposed to so many different things that I'm not even sure what my dream job was. I think I was just happy just being exposed to so many different kind of opportunities that I was just very open. But I just remember in Haiti, I wanted to be a doctor, or a lawyer. Yeah. I think I wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. And then in high school, I wasn't sure yet. I wasn't sure if I wanted to be an engineer.
Yeah.
Or if I wanted to do some social work. And then toward the end of high school, towards senior year, I was working at a domestic violence prevention program.
Okay.
And I really liked the work that I was doing there. I was in the community. I was basically playing the role of a community organizer, and I really enjoyed that, where I was going out, talking to people in the community, trying to find out what issues that they're having, helping them solve those issues. I really enjoyed that. So I think toward the end of high school, I was like, I want to be a community organizer, and I was very much into that. And then when I got into college, I started taking some community organizing classes, and I was like, this is I kind of like this, but maybe I can challenge myself a little bit more. Okay. Then I changed my my focus on engineering, and I graduated from Roxbury Community College with associate in engineering.
Yeah.
And then once I graduated from Roxbury Community College, they helped me find a job, and they helped me find a job at the company that I'm working at now, which is called Environmental Health and Engineering.
Okay.
It's located in Massachusetts. And my work is mostly based on environmental science, industrial hygiene, and also some engineering, some building engineering, such as HVAC systems.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a consulting job, so we do a variety of things. We don't focus on only one thing. But I really enjoy my job. I've been here it'll be 9 years in October.
Wow, 9 years.
Yeah,
so, let's talk about it. 9 years in a job, man. How did you last that long?
I don't know. So when I first got here, I was trying to get comfortable, trying to understand what the job was about. Yeah. But I think for me, it's the people. The people that I work with, they're awesome. They're great. They're very helpful. They just made me feel, one, welcome, but also I never feel as though I'm competing against people or there's politics or anything like that. I just always felt like if I needed help with something, if I needed help figure out something, somebody would help me. The other thing I like about the job is it's a consulting job. So you're never doing the same thing every day. Almost every day I'm doing something different. I'm going to MIT, I'm working with MIT, I'm working with Harvard, I'm working with Mass General Hospital. I'm working with so many different high-profile clients. I'm flying to St. Louis, I'm flying to Cincinnati, I'm flying all over the country. So it keeps you very interested, and I'm also learning a lot of new stuff. So not every day, but I would say I learn something new. I don't know. Every month I'm learning something new. I'm learning a different way of solving my client's project. You know what I mean? So I think it keeps me very engaged. It keeps it very exciting, and the people are great. And I think that's really what keeps me here. What have kept me here for the 9 years.
That's very, very interesting to hear. So I'll go with you with this question. So what is the most lesson you have learned over your career so far?
Wow, that's the biggest lessons I've learned is I've learned a lot of different lessons, but one of the important lessons I've learned is to be dependable. Like I think one like I think if you talk to the people here where I work, I think they would say that you can always that you can always depend on Vlad. And I think being available and dependable just makes me a very, very reliable worker. And I think that for me, I feel as though just helped me understand like how to increase your value, right? Like how to increase your value as in, hey, this guy we know we can always rely on Vlad, and I feel as though that always help rise my stock as an employee, right? Like this, we can always go to Vlad if we need to get something done. And I think just being available, I think one thing they say in sports is your availability is your best ability, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think one thing for me is I'm always available to help. I'm always available to help people that have helped me, people that just got to the company, helping them. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned.
So what would you say this come from, having this mindset? Is it from your parents? If it's from a mentor? If it's from a friend? Can you share?
Yeah, no, that's also a good question. Well, it comes from multiple people. It comes from my parents as well. I mean, my mom is one of those people that like she never takes a day off.
Yeah,
she's always working. So my mom could work 7 days. My mom is probably 62 now, and she can still work 7 days a week, and you can't tell if she's tired or not. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's a big part of it as well. But one of my coworkers, when I first got to the company, I started hanging out with him and just trying to learn, because he had been at the job 5 years before I got here.
Okay.
I started learning the job through him, and he was sort of teaching me the ways. And so I kind of learned how to be good at my job through him. And also, he's one of those people that's always available, that's very dependable. And I kind of learned through him as well, just how to not only be successful at my job, but like what does it take to like be somebody that people trust, somebody that people can go to whenever they need help. And that's all, being dependable and being available. That's how I learned that.
So I'll go like back to your upbringing. Let's talk about your also dynamic. How was it growing up? I know you just mentioned that your mom, she worked, and I think that's all Haitian. We work hard. Yeah. So how was it for you? Can you share with us the dynamic of your household?
Growing up, I grew up with my mom and my dad in the house, and I had my younger sister, Regine. So it was the four of us growing up mostly. I think my mom had always worked. When I turned 8, she opened her own corner store in Haiti, what we call a boutique. And she had that for a long time. And her corner store is really what fed us and kept us going. And, she did really well for herself. My mom was always somebody that's a go-getter. She's never really been the one to work for other people. Not that she has in the past, but she's always found a way to open her own store, or help out open a restaurant or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's always been a go-getter. So, and then my dad worked 2 jobs while he was in Haiti. 1 job in the morning, 1 job at night. So I grew up with not only both parents in the house, but two hardworking parents as well. So
Yeah.
I would say that was my upbringing.
Oh, wow, man. So what is the best compliment you ever gotten?
Wow, that's the best compliment I've ever gotten. I feel as though I thought about that not too long ago. I'm not. I think I'm not the best at receiving compliments, and I'm not the best at accepting them and saying thank you. But I think usually it's thank you for helping me, right? Like, I think it's something as simple as that. It's like, thank you for helping me, right? So I feel as though the way I see myself, I just like to help people. I just like to help people come up. So I'm like, for example, at my company, I'm at a pretty mid-level. I'm a mid-level employee, and I feel as though I take a lot of joy in helping some of the new employees get better, learn the way through. And I think whenever somebody say thank you for helping me, I think that's what makes me happy. Like, I was able to help somebody in any way that is, right? Even when it comes to my friends, my family, whenever I'm helping somebody get better or helping somebody achieve something, helping somebody just in any way that possible, helping make somebody else's days better, making somebody smile, like helping somebody in any way that is. I think that's when I feel the most joy. So whenever somebody is thankful for me helping them, I feel as though that's my biggest compliment. Like, thank you, Vlad, you helped me achieve this, or you helped me get this in any way. So that's usually when I feel the most fulfilled.
Oh, wow, man. So let's go with this. So who has been your most important professional mentor?
Oh, wow. My most professional mentor. I've never had a official mentor, like somebody that's like always helping me throughout my career. I've always looked after certain people. Like, I've seen the way they function at work, or the way they get their work done.
Yeah.
And I've been like, oh, wow, I like that guy. Then I try to become their friend, and I try to mirror everything they do. You know what I'm trying to say? So my current supervisor, he's just a really good person. And he's just very patient. And he always has time to answer any questions I have, and no question is stupid. No question is not worth his time. He always has time to answer any question, and also even when I'm struggling, right? So sometimes I'm overwhelmed with multiple different projects, multiple reports, and he's always offering help. It's never, Vlad, you messed up and you didn't get that done. It's, oh, how can I help you? Because you seem overwhelmed. And he's, I don't want to say he's the most important mentor I ever had, but he's definitely one of the most impactful mentors, just in the way that he leads, the way he supervises, the way he oversees, because he's my manager, right? So the way he manages me is just inspiring. And I never feel like I'm not enough when it comes to him. I always feel as though I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but sometimes I need help. So I appreciate that from him.
And and people can see that there's a genuine energy coming in, you explaining that mentality where when you're at your worst, you're vulnerable, and then you're asking for help, and that person is ready to kind of lift you up and then give you that opportunity to get the job done. So I'll go to a personal history because I think I just said it. First time here, and I love basketball. I love soccer. I think we share the same interest for sports. And I went to Phil's Corner, and you were there with your friend, and take us to that journey.
So I think this was back in 2012. I think 2012. I think, and so we used to play basketball at the Fields Corner Park across the Fields Corner Plaza in Dorchester, Massachusetts. Yeah, so me and my friend Derek, we would. Every summer we would go to the park at least a couple times a week. That was just our thing. Like we'll go to the park a couple times a week to play basketball, and then we'll play with whoever we find at the park. Yeah. And then one day we went to the park. We saw this guy. You know, he looks like, I don't even know. He looks like Zach Randolph. Like if you follow basketball, it's
Zach Randolph.
He looks like Zach Randolph, and I'm like, all right. And then I think we got there, and I think I could tell you spoke Creole or something. I don't remember how I found that out, but
I had the H in my forehead.
And I was like, oh, he speaks Creole. Okay. And I was like, oh, he's good too. Like I was like, oh, this guy's good. So it was me, Derek. I think me and Derek was on the same team, and it was you and some other guy on the team. And then we played that first game, and it was good. It was a good game, and I was like, this guy knows how to play too. He's pretty good at basketball. And I remember me and Derek just saying, you know, like, oh, we found out you just got here. You just came from Haiti not too long ago. And I was like, oh yeah, let's be friends. Whenever you want to play basketball, just let us know. And I think we exchanged phone numbers back then. Whenever we play basketball, we'll like call Eddie and we'll be like, hey, we at the park if you want to play basketball.
Yo, and I appreciate that, man, because you allowed me to adjust, because at first, so I spent 6 months in Tampa, Florida, and then I moved to Massachusetts, and where it's a culture shock, different environment, and I came to that park, and you guys are playing, and you were to say, oh yeah, let's go play, you know. I was kind of shy, didn't know, you know, so, but we spoke that I speak Creole, and mostly at the time, and you helped me. You definitely helped me, and I think we play since then. We never play against each other.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, no. When I mean, I play against you that first time, and then we always play the same team, playing against everybody else. And you were like a coach, tell me what to do. Go low, you know. That was fun. That was fun. And I think one time you called me, and that was my first time going to the beach in Weeville Beach, and you say, hey, Eddie, let's go. Take the train, and we go to the beach, and we play football time.
Yo, that was fun, too.
Oh, that was fun. That was a great time. Great time.
Yeah, I remember that day. Whenever I think of Eddie, I always think about the day we went to the beach. I was like, you know, me and Eddie, we definitely had a good time, because it wasn't just about playing basketball in the corner, but like I remember Derek and I were like, yo, let's go to the beach, and then we went to the beach, we played football. That was great. Yo,
we had a great time, definitely. So let's switch to, like, now you're in your job now, and what's the future hold for you now?
Well, now I'm here. I've grown in this job a lot. I've gotten 3 different what do you call that? Promotion. 3 different promotions. Thank you.
Wow.
And you know, and I'm here to grow in the job, and I'm always working on my next promotion, right? The next step, you know. So I'm here to grow into it, and right now I'm what's called a staff scientist, and eventually I want to become a senior scientist, and that's what I'm working on, right? I'm always working on learning more, doing more projects, become a manager, manage people, manage different projects, and eventually become a senior scientist, and on and on. But I also one thing I'm doing a lot now is I have my podcast. So that's very important to me. I want to grow that and make that better and make that bigger. Attract more people. Right now, we're doing a lot of interviews of ex-football players, ex-basketball players, but also we are doing interviews of sports media members, and I enjoy that. I really enjoy that. It's really fun. And I want to keep growing that podcast. I also have a meditation channel on YouTube, which is doing pretty well. So I want to keep growing that meditation channel. I have a third channel coming out pretty soon, later this fall. It's going to focus on food. I'm a big foodie person.
Okay.
As you can tell. So, and I want to grow that channel. It's still in the works. We're doing a lot of shooting right now. It's still in the works, but eventually when that channel comes out, I want to grow that channel. So I would say right now I'm very focused on my career, but I'm also doing a lot of YouTube work on the side, which I want to grow, and I want that to be very part of who I am and very part of my career as well. So a career in social media is very much in the works for me as well.
So what got you into a podcast? So can you take us to the mind process, how this idea came about?
Sure. I've always wanted to do a food podcast, like not necessarily a podcast, but a food show. Because I watch a lot of shows on TV about people traveling the world and eating, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to travel the world and eat. Like that looks fun, but it looks fun, but it also looks like something that I would really enjoy, you know. So I've always wanted to do that, and then I met one of my friends that I do the sports podcast with, John. He wanted to do a sports podcast. I love sports. I'm always talking about sports. And I was like, okay, let's get together. Let's do that. So we got together in 2020, right before the pandemic. We shot our first podcast. It went well. And we've been doing it since. We've been doing it every week. We've released a podcast every week. We've never missed a week.
Okay.
It's been, I think right now we are on episode 122.
Wow.
So we've been at it, and it's been great. I mean, it's been sports. Like, we just every day you can sit at a table and talk sports with your friends, your coworkers. And now I'm just doing it on social media and hopefully making it part of my career. You know what I mean? So that's been very enjoyable.
Yeah, so you just mentioned when we first met, I look like Zach Randolph, right? But Zach Randolph is a lefty, so I'm a righty. So well, I'm better. I was better than
Zach Randolph.
But no, that's all fun, man. And like I said, it's this is Vladimir Albin Jr. So he's here with us today on our episode. This is Divine Purpose Podcast. We're gonna take a quick break and come back with our guest, special guest. It's a friend. We appreciate him being here today with us.
What comes before making a smart decision? Choices. A smart choice is the best option, which is who we are. That's why our clients expect more from us and, in return, get more in everything we do. We understand the problem. That's why we thrive for excellence. We don't just create a winning culture. We aspire to be a smart choice, a voice for solutions. We believe in integrity, professionalism, and teamwork. Our passion is to bring results from our clients by working harder, smarter, and faster. As a team, we always deliver because we recognize your needs. Choosing smart influences us to be the best version of ourselves. That makes us different than other companies. It makes us confident in achieving our goals. It makes us who we are. And it makes us DFM, the smart choice.
Yes, we're back with our episode, Divine Purpose Podcast. Excited to have this guest. So, Vladimir, we're going to go to Hot Topic. Hot Topic is a segment where we talk about different like a hot topics that people don't have a chance to go and to even ask you question, and we're gonna have some fun. Divine Purpose Podcast. We're back with Vladimir Albin Jr. And now, question for you. Why is it so hard for Haitians to work together?
It's the $1 million question, right? Because it's the question that we all ask ourselves sometimes. I think that's gonna change. I don't know why it's been hard, but I think that's gonna change. I think with this new generation of Haitian people, look at us right now, me and you, right? I'm on your podcast, you're having me on, you're asking me questions, and I've seen you interviewed a lot of Haitian people on your podcast, and yes. I think there's a lot more collaboration now, and I think that because we've asked this question more and more, I think now we're like, let's just do it. Let's just get together and work together. I'm not sure why it's been so hard. I think it's been so hard because people are scared to bring people up, and if you bring somebody up, then they might take your job or the money that you're feeding your family or something like that. I think with this new generation, we're learning that no, it's all about bringing people up. The more people you bring up, the more you bring yourself up.
Yes.
You know? And even at work now, I'm working with 2 Haitian guys that they hired at my job, and all I do is try to help those guys become better at the job and eventually get to where I am, you know. So I think that's changing.
Yes, so, and I will go deeper a little bit on it because this is hot topic. I think there's a trust issue.
Yeah.
So have you ever experienced that where you don't trust somebody because they are Haitian?
No, I never feel as though I don't trust somebody because they're Haitian. Like I'm so in general, I'm the kind of guy that goes in trusting people until they give me a reason not to trust them.
Okay.
So because I have that attitude toward it, I never go in like, oh, I'm not gonna trust this guy because he's Haitian. No. I do think there's a trust issue, like I'm saying. I think part of what I said earlier was that people feel as though they cannot trust people because either somebody's going to take something away from them or that person is not going to be honest with them. I personally don't feel that, but I know that I've seen other people experience that. I've heard my parents talk about people in that way. And you've seen it in the Haitian community where people are like, oh, he's Haitian. I'm either not going to work for them or not going to partner with them because they don't treat. Sometimes Haitian people don't treat other Haitian people well, and I think that's where the mistrust sometimes comes from.
So, do you see a better hope for Haiti? And can you tell us about this? If you it's a hot topic and it's your opinion. Yeah. Come at you. If you don't see it, it's fine.
Yeah. Haiti is my first home, my favorite home, the place I want to be all the time.
Yeah.
And because of that, I want a better Haiti. This is making it a little emotional. I want to be able to go back home whenever I want. I want to be able to go to the beach. Like when I take vacation, I don't want to go to Jamaica. I don't want to go to Puerto Rico. I want to be able to go to Moulins-sur-Mer. I want to be able to go to the Cameroon. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I love my country. So for that reason, I have a lot of hope for Haiti. I have a lot of hope that things will get better and that eventually in my lifetime, I'm going to be able to go on vacation in Haiti and even possibly retire in Haiti. But it's so hard right now to even imagine that with all that's going on. All the kidnapping, all the killings, all the gangs that are ruling the country. It's so hard to imagine that. Even me, sometimes I imagine me going back and helping out. And I feel as though sometimes if you go back and help out, somebody's going to want to hurt you because you're not giving them money or something. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, I think I have a lot of hope for Haiti, but right now it's really hard to see the clarity in the hope, like to see like the light at the end of the tunnel. Right now it's really hard to see that. So
Vladimir, you've been very, very helpful in terms of being open and tell us about you, your journey and your career. Last word for you.
I don't have a lot of last words. I think this was fun. I really I really enjoy my time on the podcast. I think you have a pretty nice setup here, Eddie, and I really enjoy it. I would love to come back another time.
You're more than welcome, man.
It's been great, and I look forward to working together with you. I think before we started recording, we started talking about some of the ways we can
help each other,
work together and help each other. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right. So this is Eddy Dacius with Divine Purpose Podcast. We had Vladimir Albin Jr. with us. He's Haitian. He's love sports, and he's also an engineer. He's an engineer consultant. So we had this episode. We went deep into his past and into his passion, and then he did great on Hot Topic. So episode 34. This is Eddy Dacius, Divine Purpose Podcast. Thank you, Vlad. We appreciate having you today.
Thank you very much.
Take care.